Alright, so this is an old MOC that I made a long time ago. And it's supposed to be like a long range 2-person cargo ship where you have the people up here in the front and then all the cargo back here. And I had these engines on the back and I had some other things on here, but like it's all beat up and missing parts. I'm going to take these engines here and I'm going to do some stuff with these things. I haven't decided exactly what yet, but my intention is to mount 2 on each side like this. And I think that's going to look really cool. And I'm also, the main thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this thing down to the base parts. And I'm going to get a 4x piece and put it right down the middle and widen this whole thing out. And I'm going to get rid of this plate here and use it on something else. Another thing I'm going to do is this dome back here. I'm probably going to try and keep it. But, like, I'm going to put some stuff down in here and, like, lower the level down so that I can have the dome closed and, like, have a minifigure sitting in there with, like, some control consoles and stuff around it. So, yeah. I'll, do, when I get something really solid going on with it, I'll cut back in and show it off. I do have these, interesting consoles up here real quick. Got this one off of the Aqua Adventure set. And this one I want to see is from the Rock Raiders. So, alright, let me dig into this. Oh, pardon my coffee, I'm sorry. But, so, I've got the engines kind of built. I was able to get some more of these 2x2 pieces like this one right here. You can see on the other side, if I open it up, maybe up, as I rip the model in half, it's got that on the inside. Let me put this back together. And yeah, I'm hoping that they can kind of work like this. I'm hoping I can keep my hair off the model. So, I know it's going to kind of have an X-Wing look to it, but there's going to be no wings. But I will keep the laser cannons on the engine tips. And then back here, these are like energy drives, and these are like impulse drives and stuff. And I'm hoping that when all is said and done, I'll mount them on either side of the ship like that. I think that'll look really cool, especially when I take the nose cone and I push it back a bit more. I haven't really started anything on the keel yet, but that'll be the next part to get into. Oh, don't drop it and break it all over the darn place. Yeah. So, alright, moving on. You know, I was thinking about these things, and I figured it might be a lot better if I just rip them completely apart. Oh, come on, you don't want to pop loose now? Oh my goodness, wow, there we go. That's really on there. Take these off, get rid of those for right now. Get rid of those. And, yeah, just thinking about doing it like that. So let me get into it then. Okay, so I'm not sure what was in the last clip, but this is the progress I have so far. I still plan on putting this up here like I plan on putting this up here like this and connecting that all together. But I really need to work on the sides and the interior and get this especially kind of closed up back here. And I've got this piece right here that I think is supposed to be for a shell model, but oh, you're not glued together, are you? That would be horrible. Okay, well, I was planning on taking that apart on camera, but my plan is to take these pieces here and use them to fill in the side here. I should need at least 2 to 3, maybe less. I'm not entirely sure right now. There's a lot of good pieces in here, actually. All right, well, let me get digging into this. All right, so she's really starting to come together. I had a bit of a hard time figuring out how to work all this into the main body, but I ended up with a couple of these are old pieces actually. 4x3 with a slant to smooth and angle it all out into the sides. And I got these long pieces with the holes in the side so I can peg these tanks in on here and like have them in different positions and stuff. The wings here, I'm not sure how stable the hinges are, so I don't want to open them up too much. But yeah, those will still be able to open up. And I'll still have the hatch back here. And this, I'm kind of proud of. This is going to be the main pilot's cockpit. And then up here is going to be the secondary entrance. So, like, you can have the pilot still inside the main cockpit. And then have people coming in and out up here. And I'll have a ladder down in there or something later on. But yeah, it's really starting to come together. And the careful. There we go. I ended up using almost all of the pieces off of that tank to fill in the back end here. I don't know what I'm going to do with this gap in the middle yet. Either I'm going to just put another engine in there, or maybe I'll put like some type of power cord that you can pop out and remove or something like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go along. But yeah, this is becoming a fun build. She's a big girl too. I plan on making these engines. I designed them to be able to just pop off easily and then, go on to that part there. I'm going to make some other engines and I'm going to make some other little tank things. I can swap them around and I'm going to try and modify and re-engineer some of my old models to be able to use these swappable parts. I think that'll be kind of cool. So yeah, let's let me dig back into it. So I actually wanted to try and hang on to that weird shaped piece in the middle, but as I'm building the cockpit onto here, I'm realizing that these sections are pushed back way over. So I'm going to have to try and use these instead. It's going to be fun. Oh boy, so I made a lot of progress on this thing. And one thing I decided that I needed to do was separate the cockpit from the rest of the vehicle. And how did I decide to do that? Well, I'm going to have to go back in and redo it again. But, I got these 2x1 parts with the peg holes in there. And then I got the peg holes on the back here. So I think that's going to look really cool. And I know there's there's a couple of Space Police models that do this. And like this is borrowed from an old Space Police model, but I'm kind of proud that it connects through here. And I got these opening pieces here, and I got this opening piece on the back. And I used some thin support pieces to get some extra space in there. I'm going to pull these off and use those on something else. But here's how the rest of the ship is going along. And I'm going to have to shorten up the entire frame, but I'm going to get into that later. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of Lego building with these things right now. I'm going to splice all this stuff together and make the whole long video. But, alright, bye. I'm a retired Watcher Knight, active Time Lord, just trying to repair my ships here. And you want me to count chocolate eggs for you? I'll get to it when I get to it. Alright, so here we have the Raven multifunction starships. Not starship, multifunction spaceship. And yeah, it's I'm not done with it yet, but for the point of the video right now, it's pretty far along, huh? She's pretty dang big. I'm surprised and a little impressed. Here's next to the Mandalorian little mini rig thing. Yeah. I still got something I want to do with this, but for right now, you can see that I've got double cockpit here. This section here just goes down and it connects all the way through. And I've got these opening panels here, and I've got some control panels on the inside. And this entire section back here is hinged to open up. Yeah. I want to go back in, and I want to take these two plates, and I want to push them out by one stud, and push them forward by two. And that'll make this section up here a little bit wider, and everything up here a little bit longer. And I want to take this spine assembly I got going on here underneath the main cockpit, and I'm going to run that the entire length back. So she's not done yet, but by the time you see her on the review table, she will be. So, yeah, thanks for watching this. Alright. Alright, I have decided that for the sake of finishing this video up and getting this thing published, I'm going to call the spaceship done for now. This thing has taken me almost a month, maybe a month and a half, from completely ripping it down and rebuilding from scratch. So first, let me show you what I talked about in the last part of the video. Can you see there? Yeah. So these parts here, I did pull out by one stud width, and I did push it forward by 3, and that made it noticeably longer. This thing is ridiculously heavy, and it's so big it's hardly fitting on the review table. And I gotta say, I think she looks mean. The whole cockpit setup, yes, is heavily borrowed from an old Blacktron model. I just always really liked that double cockpit thing. And yes, my cockpit does connect all the way through. You can see the other figure in the back there. I got opening panels up here on the top. This thing is really, really heavy and hard to move around. When you got two hands and you're not reaching around a camera, it's a lot easier to do. These engines, yes, I did borrow them from the Sabuba Pod Racer, and they do open up nice and big. I get my hand out of the way. And yeah, again, the review area is kind of small, but you can still get a pretty good effect on what I'm going for with these things. Let me, oh yeah, sure, go ahead and demonstrate that ahead of time. Not this part. This goes down. Take that off. Put you down. And we can get a closer look at the engines themselves. Yes, I got some little light pieces in there to be like thruster effect parts. And yeah, this part right here plugs onto there for mounting the engines, and I plan on making other engines to swap off with this thing. But not only do those engines pop off, but then these tanker pods can be popped off. And then I can take off this entire front cockpit here, and this can function as an escape pod for the crew to fly off in. And yes, this door can open up and slide inside there like that. I'll leave that closed. Put you down here out of the way. And yeah, we're left with just this simple box going on here, and I can open this up like this, and you can see the inside is, yes, very open and spacious. I plan on coming back in here and putting more boxes in the walls, more storage containers and whatnot. You can fit a lot of people up inside here if you really wanted to. A lot of cargo. And these angle plates, they just peg down onto the ring. And this thing has a surprisingly strong body to it, because I got these two rings up in the top here and then one down the bottom there. And everything's like double layered together and stuff. Like, am I willing to toss it at a wall? No, I'm not going to toss it at a wall, but like, you know, this thing is pretty sturdy. Let's go ahead and pop the cockpit back on. Let me get my fuel pump, my come on. There we go. This thing is easily, I don't have a tape measure on hand, and I'm gonna have to dig one out, and I'll put it down in the comment, in the description down below. But this is easily 10 inches, maybe even a foot long. Can't put that engine over there because the ladies on the couch are on the way. Okay. Oh, focus. Come on, focus. There's soda can. I have a, oh. I have the Shangzi guy, and we got the Wolverine mech. And so the point to this spaceship is, in the form it is right now, is it's meant to fly into gas giants, okay? And it uses the intakes on the engines to suck in any gases or liquid or metals can appear in gas form in some gas giants, all right? And it sucks in all that stuff, and then it uses all the other tanks and piping and different things inside to separate out the different gases to be taken off other places. It's a harvesting ship. It's a mining ship. But yeah, it does carry 6 big old plasma cannons on there because it carries so much raw material while it's in active duty that it's not hard to just go ahead and burn that active material as plasma. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the disassembly to the complete product. And yeah, keep checking out my vids. So thank you. Bye bye.